Hello, I'm ABX and welcome back to another update video. Today we'll be answering a pretty commonly asked question I get on my TU31 videos, and that is people asking, Toycat, which of these blocks/items will be available to me on my existing, worlds, and which of them will I have to start a new world or expand my existing one to actually go, and actually get? And today I think the answer will, kind of pleasantly surprise you. But first of all, I'd very much appreciate a like on the video if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and let's move see more stuff like this. And a quick note before we get into the video, I said Minecraft Wii-U would be out on Wednesday. I actually meant on Thursday. Apparently the 17th is a Thursday. I don't know my dates. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, Minecraft Wii-U tomorrow. For today, we've got the cool update information though. So another quick note is that if you are in creative, you can get pretty much every single brand new, feature in this update, with the exception of, some of the biomes themselves. You can make the, you can get all the blocks from the biome, but you can't get the biome itself. And also the Elder Gun cannot be gone in creative without starting new world. So just bear that in mind if you're in creative. But we are going to be talking mostly about survival today. So yeah, when it comes to survival, you might look at the big list of new blocks, new mobs, all these features, and be like, oh, I'm worried that some of these won't be available to me. And you do have some cause for concern. With most previous updates, a lot of the stuff was available to existing worlds. But with this update, one of the biggest features, like one of the big headline features, the new biomes, is exclusively available to new worlds. There are very few ways you can actually get that done on your existing worlds. Like if you have a massive world and you explore that you didn't explore, like half of it, maybe you'll get new biomes. But even then, basically the new biomes are not going to be available to existing worlds. That's something you kind of have to deal with. And that's the big kind of hit. If you want to have a mesa biome and you want to have the red sand, if you want to have the savanna or the roof forest, so you can get the new trees, that's something you can't do. But a lot of the features you might not expect are actually available on existing worlds. So we'll start with a bit more positive than just the new biomes, because obviously all the new biomes like to be there. But what about the new items? Which of the new items will be available on your existing worlds? And this is very, very pleasantly surprising, because out of the big list that 4J have given us, and based on our update gameplay we've seen, that seems pretty accurate. Pretty much every single one of these will be available in your existing worlds. And you might look at it and be like, armor stand, raw rabbit, new fish. I don't know if I can get those. Yes, you can. So the armor stand is a craftable. You can just make that regardless of what you have. That's awesome stuff you can get. The rabbits and the cooked rabbits, the rabbit stew, all the stuff that comes from that, including the potion of leaping, that's also stuff you can get on existing worlds, because rabbits spawn in existing biomes. They'll spawn in a forest, they'll spawn in the plains. Basically, they'll spawn a bunch of places. You'd be very unlucky not to find a rabbit in an existing world. So if you want to have a rabbit companion that you make follow you around with a rabbit, with a carrot, with a rabbit, that's something you can entirely do. Along the same lines, if you kill a sheep after the update, regardless of if it's a new world or an old world, you will be able to get mutton, which means if you've always wanted to have mutton, that's something you can go out and just kill for yourself. So yeah, handy little thing there. The new fishing system will be, of course, available in existing worlds, which is actually really handy, because it means if you have a world from before TU19, you can get name tags and saddles for the first time, because you can go fishing for them, which again is very handy. And it also means you can get salmon, clownfish, puffish, etc., which then means you can make the potion of water breathing. So that's both potions able to be made on existing worlds. There are no potions exclusive to new worlds, which is very handy. And even when you look at the flowers and you're like, oh, these are the things which are definitely not going to be on old worlds, actually some of these flowers can be gone on old worlds using a sneaky little technique that I'll tell you about right now. So basically the dandelion and the poppy, or the yellow flower and the red flower, as you might previously know them, are the two flowers that we have right now. Out of the brand new 8 flowers coming, actually 4 of these will be available to existing biomes. So I'll start with the ones that are. You will not be able to get the peony, the rosebush, or the lilac, because they only come through generation only. But there's a bunch of flowers you can actually get by getting lucky and by bone milling the ground. So if you have a swamp biome, you can bone mill the ground, and if you do it enough, you will find blue orchids this way. Blue orchids are pretty cool. They're a way to get blue dye. It's very nice. And if you bone mill the ground in a plains biome, it does have to be an actual plains biome, not just somewhere where there used to be trees, now there's not. Find a plains biome and then bone mill the ground, and you can find tulips, all the different colors of tulips. You can find oxide daisies, and you can find azure bluets. So that's a handy way to get 4 of the new flowers that you might not figure you could get. And then finally, the last color of items are the prismarine shards and the prismarine crystals. Unfortunately, neither of those will be available to existing worlds either. But thinking of the big list that they said as far as new items go, that's like a solid 20-30 items. There's only 6 of them that aren't available to existing worlds. So it's pretty positive there. So the part where it gets a little bit less positive is new blocks. If you want some new blocks that build your stuff with, unfortunately a lot of these won't be available, but a lot of them will be too. So again, you look at the list and you're like podzol, granite, red sandstone, diorite, andesite, prismarine blocks, acacia saplings, dark oak blocks and stuff, and you're like, oh geez, this is terrible. I'm not going to be able to get any of these. But you actually can get a surprising number of these new blocks. Again, you have to kind of use sneaky techniques. So ones you just cannot get on an existing world, unfortunately, are stuff like the sea lantern, the wet sponge, and the prismarine blocks. Obviously, you need to find an ocean monument for this, and unless you have an unexplored massive chunk of your world where you happen to find an ocean monument, it's just not going to happen. So yeah, if we just rule all of those out, you cannot get that stuff, but a lot of these you can get. So first of all, we'll start with the ones you probably know, because I mentioned in previous previous videos, granite, andesite, and diorite can all be crafted from existing ingredients. That's right, if you have a bunch of cobblestone and a bunch of, nether quartz, the actual stuff itself, you can actually craft, andesite, diorite, and granite, which means then, once you have those, you can craft the polished version. So that's 6 new blocks, even with an existing world with nothing unexplored, you can still get yourself 6 new blocks. Then there's the slime block, which is just requiring, slimes, and then, as far as the acacia blocks go and the dark oak blocks go, you might think this is impossible in existing worlds, but it's kind of technically possible. So if you had a bonus chest and you re-roll that bonus chest by breaking it and trying again, you actually have a decent chance of finding some acacia saplings in there and some dark oak saplings. So yeah, if you get kind of lucky with that stuff right there, and you include the stuff that you craft yourself, you can actually get about 10 new blocks on this update just from that stuff, because the acacia wood turns into planks and stuff, and that actually means that a decent number, something like 50% of the new blocks, can be gone in existing worlds, which is really impressive given that most of these spawn in new biomes or in new chunks of world, but you can get them regardless. And then as far as new mobs go, there is the endermite, the guardian, the elder guardian, the rabbit, and the chicken jockey. Of course, not all of these are available in existing worlds, but it is only the guardian and the elder guardian not available normally, because they require, again, the ocean monument. It all comes down to the ocean monument when you think about it. The endermite, it just requires you to end a pearl around if you want a lot. Endermites aren't really that useful. Rabbits, you can get just for a forest thing, and chicken jockeys are just a super rare chance in a zombie spawn, because there's a 5% chance for a baby zombie to spawn, then there's a 5% chance that it happens to spawn on a chicken. It's a pretty fun thing like that. But yeah, that's the chicken jockey. The rabbit can also be gone, and the endermite can be gone this way too. Basically, just you can get pretty much all the mobs, excluding the ones exclusive to the ocean monument, and like I said, that's what it all boils down to. You can't get new biomes, and you can't get the ocean monument, but pretty much everything else can be gone in existing worlds. You're going to have the new enchanting system, which is so much better. Your villagers are going to have the new and improved logic. Witches are going to be able to drop the new potions. Sugarcane's going to change color from biome to biome, and all these massive changes, the new types of mushroom blocks, the new crafting of the crackstone bricks and that stuff that's done in existing worlds. Pretty much every brand new feature, large net portals, I can just go on and on and on with this. Pretty much every single feature in the changelog is going to be here again, except this big new biomes one. So the ultimate question here, when it really comes down to it, is a question of, should I start a new world for this next update, or can I keep my existing world and just kind of work from that? And the answer to that question is it really does depend. There's a few features you cannot get, but it really does boil down to just new biomes, like the technical biomes underneath. There is some of the blocks you can get from these new biomes, and there is the ocean monument. But besides that, a good 85%, 90%, maybe even slightly more of the update is still going to be available to you on your existing world. So don't be too bummed out if you're not willing to start a new world. If you have a world like mine where it's like, I can't expand this and I don't want to start a new one, that's fine. You can explore so much of this in a separate world, and then just keep enjoying like 85% of the update in your new world, and then wait till you do eventually expand it. Wait till this does happen, and then you'll be in a pretty good location. So yeah, that is the answer to the question that I think we're all trying to answer here. I hope the video did help you out and maybe deciding to keep your world if you were kind of on the fence, because you might not have known you can actually craft 6 of these blocks, the andesite, the diorite, the the granite, etc., just with existing blocks. You might not have known that you'll be able to smelt new blocks, so that you'll be able to go fishing and actually get name tags for the first time, and all these different things that previously don't really make too much sense. But I hope that this has inspired you to be like, yeah, I'm going to keep the world, because I think it is a pretty decent decision too. But otherwise, I hope this video did help you out in some way, whether it's making the decision one way or the other. I'd love to know what you're going to do in the comments down below. Are you going to start a new world or keep your existing world? I'd love to know that. Otherwise, please do like the video if you did like it, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Tomorrow, some Minecraft Wii-U videos. I'm going to be, I'm going to be doing a review of it, I'm going to be doing a comparison of it, and I'm going to be doing a live stream of it. So if you want to see those 3 things, stay tuned to the channel and follow me at IBXToyCat. But yeah, thank you for watching. See you all in the next video. Have a nice day, and goodbye.